Hi Aquarius, welcome to this special love Valentine's Day reading edition where I'll be channeling messages specifically for love, romance, regardless of your current relationship status or lack of it. So I will try to go more general, and then when a message more specific to singles or dating or in relationships, I will also let you know. Please consider that this is only a general reading for the collective of your sign, and so only take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own current life experiences. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, contact me through the email I put in the description box, where you can find the current list of reading services I offer. So, the energy for love and romance is an energy that right now seems not to be where you're channeling the most power. There's something that's making you feel a little bit disempowered when it comes to romance or relationships. It could be that you've been through something that felt as a letdown, an emotional disappointment, a recent separation, or you and a partner are bumping into obstacles to connect emotionally, or finances and work pressure are getting in the way of the relationship. I do see a lot of factors being more important right now than the romance aspect. And I also feel like you are emotionally disappointed and emotionally attached to something, or a past identity that does not serve your highest good and your highest intentions when it comes to love. The devil is here, so this energy does, and the Seven of Swords together, and this is a very tricky combination because it talks about deception, obsession, manipulation, negative influences, cheating, all kinds of addictions, sexual deviance, patterns of sabotage when it comes to relationships. And for some, because we're focused on you, it's coming from you. For others, obviously, maybe you've dealt with a very toxic partner and you are in a moment of realizing, unpacking kind of the effects that this energy left on you, and trying to heal and cleanse all of this pollution out of your system that might also influence you in a way of considering relationships wrongly, right? So there's a negative connotation or association that needs to be looked at, or a negative pattern of behavior that needs to be looked at, regardless of what relationship status you have. And the Four of Swords, also starting off your reading, reminds me that there might have been more of a low, dry phase in the last 4 months when it comes to love and romance. So the last 4 months might have felt as nothing major or significant or different really happened here. And you also have the Temperance, which is another card that speaks to me about slow pace and a need to heal. The Four of Swords and the Temperance alone inform that your collective energy is healing, mending, recovering from something. And you might not be as available to actually attract love right now. So it could be that also your physical or spiritual healing and recovery is of more high importance right now. It could be that also aspects to deal with your material security play as well a larger role right now in terms of lessons and priorities. So love and romance does not seem to be bringing you the warmest feelings. And you could be dealing with significant Sagittarius or Capricorn-like people or influences, or something quite important happened here in the last part of the year, the last 2 months. And it came through as some of you realizing perhaps that there's something very obviously per se wrong with a way of relating or a person of interest or a person you were interested in or a partner. I see you recognizing with clarity the problem, identifying the problem. I see many of you Aquarius being able to identify the problem but not being able to solve it. So right now, as we move through your season and the end until the end of February, I see you still stuck in trying to figure out how to clear up the path from negative and toxic influences, and also letting go of the attempt to manipulate or scheme into changing a partner. Because for those of you in a relationship where things are not going well, I see you trying through temperance, through moderation, through self-abandonment and neglecting of your needs, trying to doing a lot of things to repair and mend something that maybe is also part of the other person to do, and you can't do the work for the two, right? And I see that maybe also some of you are trying to manipulate your partner into changing aspects that they will not, because it's deeper than what it meets the eye. I feel like for some of you, you have a partner here or person you are emotionally, romantic, sexually connected with that has serious addictions or dependencies upon things, right? And so you're recognizing that there's just a lack of emotional and spiritual alignment right now between you and this person. And this is also for Aquarius in a relationship or Aquarius dating or with a specific person in mind where things are just difficult, or you keep bumping into feelings of neglect, rejection, low self-worth. You might have been dealing even with relationship influences that might have conditioned your finances, your ability, or your health. Someone might have been very unhealthy for you, Aquarius, like in a way that you're now starting to realize kind of the effects that it took on your health. Yeah, I see backstabbing energy. So this could be coming from patterns of betrayal, as I said. And so either you or the other person you were dealing with are coming to terms with this deception and what to do next. The thing is that with the Devil card here as an outcome of all of this, the tendency to stay in a vicious cycle is still kind of high here. It's big. And it could also be informing you, this combination of cards, that you keep moving through the cycles of addiction as well, connected to relationships. So it could also be interesting trying to analyze addictive patterns or addictive cravings, yearnings, how this cycle works, operates with you when it comes to relationships. Maybe you can identify similar patterns as to when something starts with someone, the middle and the end, and then the roller coasters. And some of you Aquarius keep attracting on and off relationships. Others, you choose the devil, so you choose the ego, you choose the addiction instead of the healing, which is the temperance or what is soul soothing. And I feel some of you are realizing this, but you don't feel empowered enough right now to change your love narrative, or you are taking your time to get there. For Aquarius, doing therapy around relationship wounds, I see that being kind of effective. And some of you need to look at some relationship dependencies as addictions, all right? Especially if you feel stuck and codependent on a current person that has proven you many times that does not have like the best interests of the relationship at heart, and it might even affect your health. So it could be that some of you would also benefit from an outside help, advice, counseling. For those of you that feel trapped in a situation, because some of you could feel very disempowered, as I said, and actually feel that you don't have an escape or you don't have an exit out of a situation. For those of you singles, I just see you reforming, needing to reform and reinvent aspects of your life before you're ready to attract love. And the love feels, moving forward, it feels like it needs to be soul aligned. And the focus should be on soul alignment and not immediate gratification. I feel like some of you will understand the difference between the two, and how quite often you might have had two kind of choices in your path, and you kept choosing the addiction, the sexual chemistry or the sexual attraction or the material even attraction, or the person that stimulated the high in you instead of the opposite. And how might I feel like some of you could have some regrets about not choosing a love that felt nourishing or nurturing, or someone that was very nurturing towards you. But maybe, it's like this energy of you, when we're so used to signaling love from the wrong type of stimulation, we can feel like when something is good or when something is healthy, like that there's something wrong with that. So I feel like maybe you misinterpret someone or misinterpret that lack of high or obsession or intensity or games and manipulation and seduction again as something that was not love or something that was not for you. And I see you now reflecting upon your mistakes. There's a message here about you not beating yourself up with guilt or regret. I actually feel like it's almost like I'm seeing like a castle of cards, and that is crumbling. And now you acknowledge the depths of the issues you're dealing with, and maybe what needs to be changed effectively for things to improve moving forward. And maybe something crumbled or is crumbling right now because it's not real, or it was not real to begin with. I just see you becoming aware of how you interpreted something, or you believed in something that might have not been accurate with the reality. Maybe you were dealing, or you are still dealing with a very, very, very good manipulator energy here. For others that are feeling regrets, missing someone, you rejected or you sent away again because you didn't know how to handle this healing influence of this person. I see you considering reaching out to someone, but at the same time being very afraid of doing or behaving in ways that might repeat cycles again. So I see you very cautious as well about who you speak with or who you allow that's speaking to you, because you want to be sure that the motivations behind you reaching out to someone or someone reaching out to you are pure. And I feel like some of you just might not feel as ready, as emotionally and spiritually healed and cleansed to meet someone. And this could be to meet someone literally that you're missing, or to meet someone that ideally you project into this future narrative in relationships, because the future narrative for Aquarius in relationships would have to be very different for those that are tired of a vicious cycle in relationships. I'm seeing that image of the spell in Harry Potter movies of petrification. Petrifica totalis, I think, but it's like a spell of someone being petrified, right? So unable to move. Something affected you or is still affecting you in this lack of action or reaction towards something. And this petrifying energy is because maybe you were hit by something you were not expecting, and it makes you feel trapped, and it makes you feel closed off, either in an energy or in someone's schemes to control you. Or something was very disturbing in your past and you're still kind of picking up the pieces from that, and you still feel like you keep bumping into difficulties, creating changes. For Aquarius, I feel like everything is going well, that you're happy in your current relationships. It could just be that there's a danger for the next weeks, in particular, for either you or a partner to be hit with realizations that might go against that harmonious flow. It could be that one or the other will relapse or is relapsing into old habits and addictions, and so there's a need to tend to that. Or it could also be that some of you will have some sort of financial worry or struggle, or for others even health concerns that can also affect dynamics of relationships. But I see many of you keep trying to repair something and it falls down, and you repair something and it falls down, and then you're tired of it. And so there's a lot of questioning in terms of love and romance. Some of you even could be tempted to do things out of character for you. Like if you have a partner that is doing something wrong and you're catching this wrong behaviors, you could be tempted to pay back or do similar things. Or you're so overwhelmed with the amount of difficulties you could have right now, either in your personal journey or with love and romance, that you could want to try to become someone else and maybe do things again that are different, more disconnected from your soul. Be aware of being seduced by fear, but also by frustration. When we're frustrated, we can want to move right to easy pleasure or gratification. We want to soothe, and the way some of you are soothing could be a little bit out of your path, especially for those of you that have been successfully healing. There's a danger for relapsing into vices, all right? So Aquarius, I hope you do have a great, loving rest of the month. Hopefully we'll see each other soon.